Nothing but fun. Where are you? Where'd you go? There
I
you
don't
are.
know. I'm here.
You disappeared all of a sudden. We went live and you disappeared. What happened?
I felt strange, and then I suddenly wasn't there.
Somebody's trying to tell me something. Don't make that guy disappear. Keep him around. Who was I? Oh no, I can't talk about that on the air. Okay. I was going to tell you a story about a Godfather related story, but I can't. I
Nope,
can't blow
can't do it.
anonymity.
Well, I was going to ask you, when's the last time you've been to Gracie Mansion?
When's the last time I've been to Gracie Mansion? Damn, it's not one of my regular haunts. I don't know, years ago at least.
Well, the two kids that came up from Pennsylvania to ruin their lives and try to kill people with their bombs and their attitude and their ideas and their criminal
They're
criminal.
sickness. They're sick. These kids. Anyway,
They,
yeah.
they were the story for a couple of days till I saw the cop who grabbed them. The guy who was he was a an officer of the NYPD, but he was a executive officer.
Oh
He,
yeah, the guy. Yeah, the guy that ran. The guy that ran after him. I saw an
the,
interview with
the,
him.
the guy that jumped over the fence and then went for him.
Yeah,
He became
yeah.
he
And I
became the
was.
story to me because there was cops everywhere. There was 30 million cops, but he's the guy that went over the fence and grabbed him. I thought,
Yeah,
good on you.
he's quite an athlete. He said it. He said in an interview yesterday. I guess that. I think I saw it yesterday. He said, you were supposed to keep in shape. You never know what's going to happen. And I don't know. He's an older guy, man.
You never know over here.
You never know what you got to do. You got to keep in shape. I'm supposed to be protecting the people in New York. That's what I do. See,
That's
New
what I
York
do.
cops are a whole different breed, man. It's not, they don't walk around. Now, I'm going to say for the most part, they don't walk around in the flak jackets. They don't walk around looking like military. They look like cops. They look like workers in blue shirts. They look like cops.
What did you call the cops in your neighborhood? What names did you have for them? Blockhead and Meathead?
Oh yeah, TV Joe and Meathead, Richie the Meathead.
New Yorkers through and through.
It was funny with Richie. Richie was a beat cop, and so he didn't have a patrol car. He just walked up and down 82nd Street, just making sure everything was okay. And the beat cops used to wear those long coats.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
And they looked like cops, man. They just had them long, past their knee-length coats. And when he had to run after somebody, he couldn't do it because that coat would get
tight down there by the knees.
Yeah, that coat would get in the way, man. And Richie wasn't a young guy nor an in-shape guy. But he caught his share of guys. He caught it. The good thing about Richie is he had a rapport with the shopkeepers and the people on the street. So if somebody
he was on their side.
The street, they helped him out. TV Joe, they were RMPs. They were radio motor patrols. So they had a little bit of. They had different. They
had technology on their side.
Well, they had the shirts. They wore shirts and short jackets, or short coats. But they had those nice coats that the buttons kind of went crooked.
Oh yeah,
buttons they buttoned up. It was like a
John Wayne shirt.
Yeah, it was. It was really cool. It was really cool. But yeah, no, I'll still say to this day, man, I won't mess with the New York cops. They're still the best police force in the world, as far as I'm concerned. They are. They make their share of mistakes, like everybody else. but I'd say less than a lot of other people. And generally, generally, um, they have, it's a police force that is in tune with the city of New York. They know
Well,
when
we
to.
got a police force here. They're waiting for the Iranians to fly drones somehow from Iran to L.A. I don't know how they're going to do that. Somebody asked Pete Hegseth about that in his ridiculous press conference this morning, and he didn't know. I don't know. Maybe they're
No,
going. Maybe they're not. I don't think they're going. Maybe they're already there. Maybe they got drones up by the Rose Bowl. Go check it out. I don't know. What do
well,
I
I was
know?
going to ask you if you're. Are you worried at all? I mean, are you kind of. I mean, I doubt they fly drones into Pasadena, but if I was living by the beach or maybe in downtown LA, I mean, can a drone reach from the beach to downtown LA? It's got to go. I mean, can it go up Sunset?
It can go where it wants to go, but I just don't know how they got one here. Well, if I would be especially careful because this Sunday is the Oscars. Hollywood shut down. There is no access down Highland Boulevard. Hollywood Boulevard is closed. The subway doesn't stop at that stop anymore till Monday
Right.
morning.
As far
So
as getting
that would be a time to strike.
Well, as far as getting it there, I mean, they can get it on a. I guess they're saying that they fear that they could put it on a small boat. I mean, a drone. I don't know that a drone is that hard. Now, again, I don't know about this stuff, Michael. I'm not studied up on drones and stuff like this. I
Who
don't know
knows?
what people can do and can't do, but I do know that in the New York Times article that I saw on this, it appeared that you could get a boat to 12 miles off the limit of 200 miles or whatever it is, and and get and get the drone over land, get it into California. You could certainly do it in New York. And
On
I
the
was,
Long Island Sound, busy place.
yeah, you got Long Island Sound, you got all those pleasure boats. You don't need a lot to do it. You don't need a naval ship. All you need is a freaking boat.
You can take a boat up the mighty Hudson River. No one's going to stop you.
You can get a boat right to 34th Street and go do damage. I mean, you can. The river is now again. I would have to think that
Scrutiny. Lots of scrutiny there.
yeah, that would be a tough place to do it because they watch that like a hawk. They have an air unit that's down there, right by Wall Street. They have, um, they have cameras obviously all over the place, and they have a harbor patrol.
What's
You know,
the docking spot there? Is it 70th Street or 74th Street on the west side?
well, you got that, but there's also other different places that you could dock down along the Hudson River and the East River. There's the heliports.
Yeah.
I mean, that the pleasure craft docking is 72nd Street is the marina there, but there's other places to dock a boat, and there's a couple of ferry uh, terminals, docks for the ferry that goes out to Rockaway. It's the Staten Island ferry, but there's the ferry. I mean, if you had a boat and you had a drone, I mean, what's to stop you from blowing up the Staten Island ferry?
Yeah. Well,
You know?
I don't think we're that vulnerable. I think it's tough. It's a tough coast to be an Iranian in a boat with a drone and not cause some attention to yourself.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, I wonder though if the West Coast, because it has such an expansive coast,
So wide open.
that it's a lot more wide open. I mean, the coast by New York City. Now, the one thing that I've always worried about, and I've always questioned the logic in putting this plant where they have put it, is the Indian Point nuclear plant, which is 25 miles north of New York
Hudson Valley.
City, right on the Hudson River. And it always has been a fairly accessible place. Now, again, I haven't been back there in 5 years, but I know that when I went back a couple of times when I lived in Pittsburgh and went up to the Hudson Valley, as a matter of fact, one time I remember camping right within line of sight of the Indian Point nuclear plant.
Could you hear it humming?
You heard all of the you would hear all the action going on, the trucks and stuff and cars and I thought it was odd that nobody ever came up to my van in
Let's have
the
a look.
middle of the night, knocked on the door. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Now I don't know. That place is supposed to be pretty big, pretty well enforced. I mean, the lot's pretty big, so I don't know. I don't know. I have to think that there's been a wide amount of money spent to make sure that if a drone hit that thing, I mean, you'd have to probably hit that thing with a bomb to do something to it.
Well, this is the age of the bomb, the drones and the bombs, but this is something as vulnerable as the Strait of Hormuz. By the way, I've been calling it the Straits of Hormuz. It's not. It's a single strait. The Strait of Hormuz. So I apologize for that. And I'm
sure somebody from Iran will take your apology.
And I refer you to the little boats that are putting out mines and the 2 mile wide deep trough that has to be navigated, that no one thought about, that no one considered, that no one took care of, that no one operated on. This assumption that they would just shut down the Strait of Hormuz and shut down the oil consumption, and the international banking would dovetail into itself, and the whole world.
Is this not what happened the last time? One of the last times.
2007.
Yeah, I mean, this is not like a new thing. This is like the playbook.
No, but Don and Hegseth and the idiots that run the government, they don't remember anything. They have no memory of history, and all the officers from the Joint Chiefs, nobody bothered to say, "Hey, you can't do that. The Strait of Hormuz will close, and you don't want that." No one brought it up. No one mentioned it. No one accounted for it. No one covered for it. They just forgot. It's the most obvious thing on the map. It's so fucking obvious on the map, and nobody cared. Nobody did anything. And Pete Hegseth today, during his press conference, I was up all night, so I saw it live. The man is not right. He is angry, upset, full of emotion, and he's not stable. He's not a regular guy. He's not who you want in that job right now.
He's a talk show host.
Worse.
You got a talk show caller running the country, and a talk show host as your Secretary of War. I'm surprised.
And the general he had with him was a mealy mouth. I was embarrassed for him.
Surprised that Hegseth doesn't pick up when he calls the president, doesn't pick up the phone and go, "Donnie from Queens, you're on."
Donnie from Queens, you're up.
You got. I mean, that's what you have running things. That's what you had running things in the first administration. You got these people, and we know these people. It's not like we haven't worked with these people before.
We know the type, don't we, Ben?
Yeah, we know the type. We know who they are. And I wouldn't trust them to drive my car. Never mind run a war. I mean, yeah, they got generals around them. I just I have to question the. I heard something. I was watching a film last night about Eisenhower, who,
White
for my
deity.
money, might have been the greatest um, prosecutor of war ever, better than George Washington, better than Ulysses Grant. He might have been the best because he had this sense of being able to listen to the people around him. He had a innate thing of when something was successful, of wanting to know why it was successful and taking it apart and taking the lessons and not being able to be afraid to admit that he was wrong.
He understood the stupidity of war. He was talking about that in a quote I saw yesterday. He understood
Right.
how stupid war is, how you make mistakes and you do stupid things. Plus, he had stupid generals around him. You think somebody gets to be a general, they must know what they're doing. But there were British generals and American generals that didn't have any idea what they were doing,
Have any clue.
and they were in the way.
And one thing that struck me about him is the fact that he well, what was the quote? He wasn't he didn't let loyalty get in the way of making good decisions. It's
Which
why
is
he was so good.
sort of an army thing, isn't it? Loyalty.
Yeah. It seems like it should be, but he didn't let his loyalty to the president. He didn't let his loyalty to his loyalty was to prosecuting the war as effectively as he could to get the least amount of people killed. He knew he was going to get people killed. He knew it, but he just had this idea that I'm gonna sit in a room with my generals and I'm gonna listen to people. I'm not gonna be the one who knows everything. I'm gonna be the one who wants to learn everything. And it seemed to work out right for him.
We're
It seemed
lucky.
to work out okay.
We're lucky it did.
Yeah, we are lucky it did. Or we wouldn't have been worried about all this because we'd be working, building whatever it was that they would have wanted us to build.
An Autobahn.
Dead. So I don't, listen, I'm not for any war. I don't want to see war. The one thing I thought about Donald Trump, the one thing I thought is that at least he seems like he won't get us into a war. At the very least, if he doesn't do that, he can screw up things domestically and we can get out of it. When you start blowing other countries up, when you start blowing people up, that's a whole different story. You make enemies for life. When you blow a
We've
girl,
got him.
you make enemies for life.
All those people that he thought were going to rise up against the government, not a one stood up. They didn't like him any better than they liked the Ayatollah.
Well,
Donnie from Queens, meet the Ayatollah. Ayatollah, Donnie from Queens. You guys are two peas in a pod. See ya. Arm wrestle to figure it out.
it certainly doesn't seem like if the object was to regime change, which they said in the beginning is what they were looking for. I think it's happening right
But they
now.
said both. They said yes. They said no.
Maybe it'll happen. But you know what? It's not going to happen without a huge
Land army.
land army, number one, but a huge commitment from this country and a huge commitment from the countries around them.
They don't have armies. They don't have anything. They have hotels that they want to keep nice and clean for their tourist industry. I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, going after. Listen, if there was a reasonable thought that these people were terrorists and that they were looking to bomb the United States and that they were, that they were going to attack this and that and the other thing, I would go along with it more. But it just doesn't. Now, again, it's early. I don't know.
14 days.
It's still early. War is kind of like baseball, It's still early until it's too late.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So I hope that the I don't know what
hope they come to their senses, pull the plug, and go home. It's a mess.
Well,
let the fires burn out and figure it out later.
I hope that they try to come to some kind of diplomatic resolution to this.
But yeah, they want to talk with us. They saw how much they saw what talking to Donnie from Queens did last time in Geneva.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. There's gonna have to be a third party, and you're gonna have to stop Netanyahu, who
Netanyahu's going to turn Beirut into Gaza. That's what he's going to do.
Well, that's it. Listen, he seems to not have any problem with leveling the Middle East, or at least the places that he believes harbors terrorism.
That way, you can see your enemy walking toward you. There's nothing for him to hide behind. Not a building, not a tree.
I just don't understand. This is how I can't. This is what I have trouble reconciling at times. Maybe you do too. We have equipment. We have the technology to go after people literally sitting in their living room. I mean, who was that Iranian guy we blew up a couple of years ago? He was standing on his balcony outside his house, his apartment.
Yeah, I know who you mean. Soleimani or something like that.
We had a drone or whatever it was that directed it toward him, and boom, we blew him right out. His kids were sitting. I remember the story. His kids were sitting inside watching TV, and we blew him off the balcony.
Like you do.
Which, if a guy's a badass like that, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I also think that you have to understand, though, number one, that
everybody's they're gonna remember that.
Do that to us. And why do we need to prosecute a huge war like we have when we have the ability to take these people out like this?
And you're going to have to settle for a diplomatic solution anyway before it's all over. You can't win. You can't win wars of conquest anymore.
And there's going to be no plan to. I mean, all you're doing is making more enemies in the Middle East.
I think we made them. We're sort of going back and saying we made you an enemy before. Would you mind awfully if we made you an enemy again?
Right, we want to renew your enemyism. So can we animate yourself? Can you animate us, please, again for another 40 years?
But you did all that, yeah. But Pete Hegseth wasn't here. He doesn't remember any of that. We're doing it for Pete.
Well, Pete's just looking. Pete's just looking to impress the girls at the bar. Come on, that's what Pete. I mean, it's painfully obvious that he's the guy at the bar who's looking to impress the girls. That's Pete's
traveling salesman with a big story.
That's Pete's story. He's he's got the big boy, big pants job, and he's going to impress the girls. Now, I want to go back to something that we talked about the other day,
Okay.
which was this meal, this lobster and steak and everything that they spent. I don't know how many millions of dollars on.
290 million.
It was something ridiculous like that.
It's like how can you eat that much food? How can you order that
And I
much
see
food?
a ton of
Where the heck?
people. Yeah, I see a ton of people jumping online saying, "Well, the troops deserve this." And, it's a traditional thing where they have a last meal before they go into battle. Number one, this spending was in December. Were we in battles in December?
No, we were saying we were keeping an eye on Santa Claus. He was coming in because he had to fly over Canada. We didn't like that.
Right. Um, did troops get deployed? I'm sure they got deployed to some foreign lands because we always deploy troops to foreign lands. But how come the previous administrations didn't uh, give troops this kind of food? I mean, if this is a tradition, this is what I'm asking.
How come the hockey team got cold cheeseburgers?
I think it's a fine tradition. I'm all about, I mean, if I could, I would go. I volunteered for it before, and they wouldn't take me. But I have volunteered to go overseas, to go to those camps on those tours that they do. I wanted to, in fact, I proposed to the Army several years ago that we go do a sports talk show.
Of course.
They probably love it. Just sitting there talking sports with somebody.
Maybe they can explain to me what happened to Max Crosby.
Yeah. So I'm not against, nice things for the troops, but
the troops didn't get this.
I thought nice things for the troops was like turkey on Thanksgiving and a special meal at Christmas. And I don't just don't ever see it costing that much money. Now, maybe I could be wrong, Michael. I could be dead wrong. I didn't serve in the military. I never cooked in the military. I didn't do anything in the military. They wouldn't.
The rank and file is not eating lobster tail. They're just not. They're not.
But I want to find a couple of servicemen to stand up and say, "Yeah, we ate that. They gave that to us. It was good," as Andy Griffith would say in No Time for Sergeants. It was good. By the way, kids, if you ever want to watch a good movie and take your mind off of war, dial up No Time for Sergeants with Andy Griffith and
who's the little guy? Who's the
it wasn't Wally Cox,
the sergeant that goes crazy.
It was a Wally Cox type guy. Now people aren't going to remember Wally Cox, but a little Mr. Peepers kind of guy with glasses and short and skinny, and Andy was just big old country boy, and that was such a great movie. I mean, that's what I do. So, that's what I do now. I watch comedies about military.
Oh.
Probably watch Stripes tonight. Because I can't stand the real stuff. But so I just because there's a lot of action on the internet now about people saying, "Well, how could you be against the troops getting this kind of treatment?" Well,
I don't think that food went to the troops. I think that went to the Pentagon.
Show me that it went to the troops. Show me that they were giving out prime rib and lobster tails to the troops. Were they giving it to the generals? Were they giving it to the Pentagon staff?
I think the Pentagon probably eats pretty well.
Yeah, I'll bet you the cafeteria in the Pentagon is a pretty nice place to grab lunch or dinner.
They call it the mess, but it ain't a mess.
And again, I don't mind feeding our troops well. I think they should be fed well. Then again, when Hegseth called all the generals in. Didn't he admonish them all for being too fat?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, the way to skin him up is to feed him lobster tails and well, not a lot of calories in lobster tail. That butter sauce can kick the shit out of you.
It's hard to keep your eye on all those generals when you insulted them all, and you know that they remember it, and they're standing behind you, waiting for you to make your mistake.
The generals. The generals, the generals, the generals, the generals. Where would we be without the generals?
Well, the guy who was the stand up for Hegstedt today was not much of a general. He did not impress. He did not inspire. He did not lead. He looked like a paper pusher, and talked like one too.
Yeah,
I think he was. I don't know if he was Army or Air Force. I can't recall.
It's boy. It's
If generals were geniuses, we wouldn't have had Vietnam. They would have figured that out in 30 minutes. Look at this mess. You can't fight a war like this.
You think they would have, huh?
I think they'd have figured that out, but they never did.
By the way, you heard who's leaving town, right?
Who's leaving town?
Our good friend Howard Schultz.
Well, yeah, the millionaire's tax is too much for him. He figured out that the whole thing with the Sonics was going to blow over, and it never did.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it never did blow over for him.
It's going to Florida.
So he's heading to Florida. Bezos is gone already. You know, it makes me laugh because, you know, once these guys have billions of dollars. Billions.
You can live 5 places at once.
Billions. And billions and billions and billions.
But they don't want you to have any.
What?
They don't want you to have any.
Well, and to be honest with you, I don't know that I need. Did I need their money? I don't need their money. I mean, it'd be nice to have billions, but to be honest with you, I could use $1 million. You kind of get me straight. Maybe buy me a condo somewhere in a nicer place. But
I see a Corvette in your future.
Yeah, I don't think I see a Corvette in my future anymore, Michael. I hate to say it. I don't know exactly what I want yet. I'd like something before I die.
I think a Bentley.
Nah, you know, there's a couple of cars that I've always wanted to own. I just, it's so funny. When I was in the coma, one of the recurring dreams that I had was that I was going to go to a Chevy dealer and buy a brand new Corvette.
Not a bad dream.
And and I kind of, and the dream would recur when I was in the coma. So I really had thought when I came out of the coma that I thought I had bought a Corvette. And I was surprised when my sister told me that there was no Corvette, that I didn't, in fact, go buy a Corvette.
I got the paperwork right here. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I got it right in my hospital. Wait a minute, I bought the thing. No, he didn't buy it. And I said, well, maybe someday. And,
you drove it a couple times. They thought you were going to buy it.
Yeah, I drove. You know what? That's the great thing is I've driven them. So I've owned Corvettes. So it's not like I never tasted it. I never had it. I had it most of my life. I owned a Corvette or some groovy car, some kind of car that I really like. I probably like. I'll tell you what I've done. I put I put a deposit down on a Slate,
What's
which
that?
is that new little electric pickup truck that's going to be coming out. I put my money on a Slate. It's a refundable deposit. So if I really don't like it, but it's a under $30,000 little pickup truck.
Who makes it?
Slate. It's a new company. They're in Indiana. They're making them, and they're supposed to hit the streets next year. And I'm if I can get that, lease that for a couple of years, I think that'd do me just fine. I think that would it would unless somebody came along with a nice El Camino, as a 70, a 67, 68, 69, 70 El Camino. But I don't want a car with a lot of horsepower anymore. I'm not trying to beat everybody to someplace.
You're in
I like
traffic. You don't
to
need
drive
it.
fast, but I don't know that my acumen is there to drive 120 miles an hour
No, don't
up
do that.
country back road. I just, I mean, I haven't tried it in a while, and I don't think I need to be honest with you.
You've done that.
Yeah, I mean, I've done about everything you can do with a car. You know what? If nothing else, Michael, if nothing else, I got a chance to pick up my high school girlfriend from her house in New York several years ago and take her to a birthday dinner in a Bentley.
Very good.
And
Memorable evening.
and that was and I'll tell you, driving down Arthur Avenue in the Bronx in the Bentley with her in the car
You can't duplicate that.
was I mean, I don't think it's ever going to get, how much better could it get? And when I went on my honeymoon in a Lincoln up to Canada. So I've driven fine cars. I've driven cars that people don't normally get to drive. I've driven $1 million car.
When you've been to
So,
Canada, they don't let us in anymore.
well, they'll let you in. You just have to go quietly. Don't go to Canada with a big ass pole with an American flag sticking out of the back of your pickup truck. That is ill-advised. Go to Canada like a human being, without thinking that you're because you're American, you're king shit. Act like a normal human being. Read the room, and they'll love you in Canada. They want your money. The Canadians, it's like the Iranians. American people got nothing against the Iranian people. It's the leaders. Well, it's the same thing with Canada. The Canadians got nothing against the American people. It's the leader they're having the problem with.
Certainly, they would make room for Pete Hegseth.
No, I don't think he'd be able to get in the country, to be honest with you.
He sort of stands out. He's not very Canadian in his demeanor.
He's got an overdose of testosterone going on, man.
And explain this to me. Why is Kash Patel bringing in the UFC fighters to train his FBI agents, the ones he hasn't fired yet? What are they going to train him to do?
Mikey,
Learn how to do that phony fall outside the ring.
This is what the world looks like that we're going to be turning over to these kids. Let's face it, we're not part of this anymore. We're just observers now.
Can we be critics, or do we have to just be?
Well, they'd like it if you just shut up. They are smarter than us. They think they know more than us. Um, their entertainment system, their value of everything that they see is not related to anything we saw. We grew up and we saw Ozzie and Harriet, and we saw Leave It to Beaver, and we saw all these kind of American
We saw
traditional.
Sha Na Na and Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, I mean, we saw much more traditional stuff, and this generation has grown up on memes and TikTok.
Songs
It's
from the
all about
80s are like ancient history.
yeah. I mean, we were appalled at seeing Cash Patel swigging a beer in the locker room with the USA team on social media with young people on TikTok and kind of like that. It blew up. It was the best thing he can do.
Turns out Trump doesn't like beer. So that turned out to be an error in judgment for Cash.
Well, I think it was an error in judgment for all of these guys. These guys don't have judgment.
One error after another.
You know,
The era of the error.
and you have a group of people, you have a bunch of people now who see that we're spending billions of dollars a day to
Upside
fight
around.
Iran, and they have no hope of buying a house.
And we can't beat them. We're fighting them, but we can't beat them.
Well, I don't know that we couldn't beat them. I mean, I think we could beat them if we decided we wanted to level the country and didn't give a shit and just, made it into a parking lot.
Oh, what would we park there, though? Be lots of
Um,
places to park. Get the
you
Ayatollah
know,
to park it for you.
the car companies are going to start to feel this too now. The General Motors, as I was doing my research for tomorrow's show, General Motors um, sells 4 million vehicles a year in the Mideast. Mostly the
Not
most
this year.
profitable vehicles, Tahoes and Escalades and the pickup trucks, the money making vehicles.
Big Lincolns.
They love the Middle East people. The Arabs love the big vehicles.
The super expeditions and the super suburbans.
Yep. And
Well, they got plenty of gas.
and so all of those people who all of those people who voted for Trump who said, geez, we got to vote for Trump, even though Biden came here and stood on the assembly line with us and stood for the union.
Donnie from Queens will take care of us. He won't let us down.
All of those people now they're gonna start to, because all of those vehicles are made in America.
Not
So
buying that. Not buying it.
you're gonna start to see and don't look now, but the Chinese make just as good vehicles. In some cases, even better.
Fit and finish.
So don't be too shocked if you start seeing a whole lot of BYDs roaming around the Middle East.
By the way, what are you driving, Vinny?
Yo, Vinnie, what are you driving this week? Good question. Oddly enough, yeah, and don't forget to remind me, I got two things at the end of the show I want to say. I'm driving a Volvo. It's the last time you heard of Volvo. A Volvo.
I don't even know who makes them anymore.
A company named Geely, and they are made in China.
Wow.
And it's all electric. It's a small crossover, very high-tech car. Everything is located, all the controls are located either on the steering wheel or the center screen. I haven't checked yet to see if it has karaoke. That's my mission today.
It's got to have karaoke. Come on.
Well, last two electric cars I had karaoke. So I will consider this car to be
It's a trend.
Less than complete if it doesn't have karaoke, but it's a very sharp looking car. It's a small SUV, and it's the EX30 Cross Country, which means it's beefed up to go off road. So you can take this car, and I'll have to see if this is actually true, because I have a little off-road track that I take it to up north. But we'll have to see how it performs off-road, and how it grips, how it slips, how it goes over a couple of rocks and things. And it's supposed to have a beefed up suspension. It's the Cross Country has I don't know, it's supposed to have like 450 horsepower.
Wow.
So it's a quick little thing. Like I said, I really didn't get a chance to drive it much between yesterday and today, but this weekend I'll get it out and get it going.
We'll hear more about it tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
So we'll have some pictures and have some more information on it. But at first blush, just playing with it, I like it. There's a lot of tech in there, and it's always hard when you have a car for a week to figure out where all the tech is. And it's one of those cars that it starts and stops when you walk over to it. It has the key fob in your pocket. You walk over to it. And I don't like that. I like to know that the car is off before I walk away from it. It's just me.
So it runs a little bit. You turn it off, and it still runs a little bit before it turns itself off?
Yeah, you don't turn it off. It turns off when you get out of the car.
Oh, wow.
So
what could possibly go wrong with that?
That's what that's something I just think there should be an on-off switch in the car. I mean, maybe someday there won't be, but I just don't think we need a car that turns on and off by you just walking over to it. I'd much rather they figure out how to make it so it can park itself.
Yeah.
That I'm all for. And I think this might be able to, because the Chinese are very tech heavy when it comes to making cars. They love the tech, man. So we'll give it a ride and see how it progresses. So
what are the two things you wanted to mention at the end? Excuse me. What are the two things you wanted to mention at the end of the show?
Okay, number one, I just want to say congratulations to Dave Grosby, our good friend Gros, who is going to be honored tomorrow night by the Seattle chapter of the American Parkinson's Disease Association, the APDA. Gros has come down with Parkinson's disease. He's another one of a few people in my life that are affected with Parkinson's disease. And he has done a lot of work advocating for Parkinson's disease help for people that have it, and so on and so forth, and research. And they're going to honor him at their banquet tomorrow night. And I would encourage anybody who can to go to the APDA Seattle website. Just Google the American Parkinson's Disease Association website and donate something in Gros's name.
That'd be very nice.
To the APDA. As I said, they do wonderful work. They helped me a lot when I moved my friend JD from Utah back to California. JD has Parkinson's, and they helped me with a lot of information and showed me a lot of little tricks and pointed me in the right direction about a lot of stuff that I had no idea. You know, my uncle had Parkinson's disease, and none of this kind of help was available for him.
My father died of Parkinson's.
So, there wasn't much around. You got it, and they put you over in a corner and told you to wait till you die.
That's about it.
now.
It hasn't changed so much. The medicine's the same. The research is ongoing, but I don't know that they're anywhere near a cure or anything that resembles a cure.
Well, the one thing they do have, and this was interesting. I was friends with one of the doctors that developed this in Pittsburgh. Is they have they can do a brain put a device in your brain now
A deep brain surgery.
that deep brain surgery that can correct the shaking and a lot of the stuff, the balance issues that most Parkinson's people are shaking, that most Parkinson's people have to deal with, and
Yeah.
that surgery is available, and it makes a world of difference, especially if you contract it at a young age. I don't know so much about an older age, but I know if you contract it at a young age and you're a candidate for it, it can do wonders.
Well,
So,
I see that my picture is frozen. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yes.
I can't. I'm frozen, but I just want you to know I'm here.
Okay, wait, and then the second thing I just wanted to do is I wanted to wish my sister a happy birthday. My sister is I won't say how old she's turning today, but my sister Marianne, my closest sister, and my the woman who, when I was in that coma that I was talking about before, I wouldn't be alive without her. I would have been dead without Marianne. It's plain and simple.
Well, she shares a birthday with Kristen. It's Kristen's birthday on the 14th. And
Oh, happy birthday!
Also, my son-in-law, Steve Musha, will be celebrating his birthday on the same day, the 14th.
Well, happy birthday to Steve too.
And happy birthday to your wonderful, loving sister.
Yes, Marianne, happy birthday! I'm glad that you're. I'm glad that we're both still around to see this just wonderful, wacky world that we live in.
It's a fractious Friday in your wonderful world.
Like
have a good show tomorrow, Ben, and have a good birthday, Marianne.
All right, Michael, you too have a good weekend, and I will catch up with you Monday. I'll be on the Patuta tomorrow at 11 o'clock for drive time. We'll have the latest prices and a look at the Mazda CX-90 hybrid, and of course the aforementioned Volvo that we were talking about, and maybe we'll even let you see me sing a little karaoke in the car. Till then, peace. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 if the Lord's will and the creek don't rise. Mikey, peace, love, and Manischewitz. Happy birthday, Kristen. And
happy birthday.
See you on Monday.
All right, Ben.
Peace,
have a great one.
Baby.
What a wine. I'm telling you, it's a fabulous wine. See ya.